The restaurant was in chaos. Smoke filled the air, alarms blared, and terrified customers screamed as flames crawled up the kitchen walls. Amid the panic, one man, calm, focused, and carrying a little girl in one arm, pushed through the smoke like he'd been born in it. His voice was firm, a commanding, "Everyone stay low! Move toward the exits! Don't panic!" It wasn't a firefighter. It wasn't the manager. It was the same quiet single dad the waiter mocked an hour ago. The man everyone thought was just a poor nobody. Now, the entire restaurant's fate rested in his hands. The Red Pine Diner sat on the edge of town, a cozy place where people came for pancakes, laughter, and gossip. On a Saturday morning, the smell of brewed coffee and sizzling bacon filled the air as families crowded the booths. At table 7 sat a man and his little girl, both quiet, both worn by life in different ways. The man, L.A. Turner, was in his late 30s, dressed simply in an old flannel shirt and faded jeans. His hands were calloused, and his posture, upright and composed, hinted at discipline far beyond his humble appearance. Across from him sat Leela, his 8-year-old daughter, grinning as she colored on a napkin. "Daddy, do you think I can get pancakes with chocolate chips and strawberries today?" she asked, eyes hopeful. "If they've got strawberries left, kiddo, you got it?" He smiled softly. Eli was a single dad, a veteran of the Marine Corps. After serving 2 tours overseas, he came home to find his world shattered, his wife gone, his savings drained by medical bills, and only his daughter left to remind him why he still fought every day. When the waiter arrived, a young man named Travis, cocky and loud, he looked Eli up and down with thinly veiled disdain. "You sure you can afford that combo? The fruit toppings extra?" Travis smirked, glancing at Eli's worn-out boots. The diner grew awkwardly silent for a moment. Eli didn't bite back. He just nodded politely. "That's fine, just water for me, please." Travis rolled his eyes. "Of course it is." As the waiter walked off, a couple nearby chuckled. Leela looked up at her dad, her small face clouded with confusion. "Daddy, why was he mean?" she whispered. Eli smiled faintly, ruffling her hair. "Because some people see only what's on the outside, sweetheart. But that's okay. We don't carry anger for them. We just stay kind." It was the kind of quiet strength that didn't need shouting. But across the room, Travis muttered to another server, "Guy looks like he crawled out of a junkyard. Probably another deadbeat living off pity." He didn't know Illy once led rescue missions under enemy fire. He didn't know that beneath that old flannel shirt was a chest scarred by shrapnel, and a heart that still beat for those he couldn't save. When the food arrived, Ely thanked him softly even though Travis didn't look him in the eye. Then, halfway through breakfast, the diner manager appeared frantic. "Travis, the delivery truck's here. Go unload." Travis groaned, dropped his notepad, and stormed off toward the kitchen. Leela giggled. As always grumpy, Daddy. Maybe he just needs someone to be nice to him," Ely replied gently. No one knew how fast that kindness would come back around. When the world turned upside down just 30 minutes later, it started with a faint crackle from the kitchen. Then, a scream. The fryer had burst into flames, oil splattering, spreading fire across the counters. Within seconds, smoke billowed into the dining area. Customers gasped, scrambling from their seats as the alarms blared. "Everyone get out!" shouted the manager. Panic exploded. Dishes crashed, kids cried, chairs toppled. But Eli didn't move toward the exit, not yet. He scanned the chaos, saw Leela clutching her coloring napkin in fear. He crouched down to her level. "Leela, sweetheart, remember what we practiced? Stay low, find the door." She nodded, tears forming. "That's my girl. Go outside and wait by the tree. Don't look back, okay?" She hesitated. "But Daddy," he smiled, "I'll be right behind you." Then he turned and ran toward the kitchen. Inside, Travis was trapped, his sleeve caught on a metal shelf. The flames closing in, he was coughing, terrified. The same young man who had mocked Ely earlier now screamed for help. "Help! Somebody! Please!" Ely kicked through the smoke, grabbed a wet towel, and threw it over his face. He reached Travis, yanking hard until the fabric tore free. "Let's go, move!"
"It's spreading, I can't."
"You can! Eyes on me!" Eli barked, his voice the same calm authority that once commanded soldiers under fire. He dragged Travis through the smoke-filled corridor, dodging falling debris. Along the way, he stopped, because he saw a terrified elderly couple hiding behind the counter, frozen in fear. He couldn't leave them. He wrapped them with tablecloths, led them out behind Travis, and kicked open the emergency exit with his shoulder. The moment they stumbled into daylight, fire trucks screamed in the distance. Ely turned back, coughing hard, but before he could re-enter, A fireman stopped him. "Sir, it's too dangerous. There's one more inside," Ely rasped. Ignoring the warning, he darted back into the inferno and emerged seconds later, carrying a teenage dishwasher who'd fainted from smoke. The crowd outside gasped as he staggered out, suit streaked, eyes red, but alive. When it was finally over, the entire diner watched silently as the paramedics checked him. Leela ran to him, sobbing into his chest. "You came back." "Daddy!" "Told you I would, kiddo." And beside them, Travis stood shaking, tears cutting through the ash on his cheeks. "I am so sorry, man," he stammered. "I didn't know who you were. I treated you like trash." Eli smiled weakly. "Doesn't matter who I am. You just treat people right. That's what matters." The next week, the Red Pine Diner reopened, and right by the door, a small plaque appeared, in honor of Staff Sergeant L.A. Turner, for courage, humility, and reminding us all what real heroes look like. And every morning after that, when Eli and Leela came in for breakfast, Travis personally served their table, always with a grateful smile and never forgetting that sometimes the quietest man in the room carries the loudest strength of all. Never judge someone by their scars, their silence, or their clothes. Because the person you look down on today might be the one who saves your life tomorrow.